everyone. In the last class we were discussing about cipher block modes of operations. So today we are going to discuss remaining block modes of operations, cipher block modes of operations. So here already we discussed about the two. So what are the two? Electronic code book and cipher block chaining mode, right? So electronic code book, how we are going to encrypt? So every part of the plain text, so we are going to divide the plain text into number of parts. Each part will be encrypted separately and the cipher code will be generated. Okay, cipher block will be generated. So that means individual cipher codes will be generated. So that's why it is said to be electronic code book, and it is going to it is vulnerable because in terms of what? So when the code is repeated, it is easy to identify. Okay, so that type of attack may be possible. So it is applicable when we are going for the small kind of messages, like if you want to share the key, then this type of encryption is enough. Good enough, right? Then coming to the next one is what? Cipher block chaining mode, where we are going to take initial vector that we are XORing with the plain text. So the resultant we are encrypting with the key and the resultant cipher text, so that will be given as feedback to the next block. Okay, so that means so the chaining is happening. Okay, here you can see the chaining. So that's why it is said to be what? Cipher block chaining mode. The plain text initial vector is XORed and that is given to the encryption algorithm and generate the cipher text. So whatever the output generated here, that cipher text is given as input to the next level. So that's why it is said to be what? Cipher block chaining, as the cipher block is chained in the next levels. So this is how we are going to use the cipher block chaining mode, right? Then the next one is cipher feedback mode, right? So cipher chaining mode is different, cipher feedback mode is different. Here there are two feedback modes, cipher feedback mode and output feedback mode. So these two modes will be converting the block ciphers into stream cipher. So what is the difference between block cipher and stream cipher? So already you might have gone for block cipher algorithms, like we have seen DES algorithm, AES algorithm, right? So in which the plain text we are going to consider as a block. So like 64-bit block or 128-bit block. So like this we are going to consider, right? So the plain text is of a block, cipher text will be generated as a block. Okay, but coming to the stream cipher in the sense the stream of characters, like one character will be transmitted. So okay, then coming to the stream, the character. So each character is of 8 bits. Generally in representation, maximum of the languages or the transmissions will use the character representation with 1 byte. So that is equals to 8 bits. So that means here coming to this feedback mode, cipher feedback mode and output feedback mode, they are going to consider the 8 bits as transmission part. Okay, not like 64 bits or 32 bits or 128 bits. So 1 by 1, 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits, like this. So we are going to transmit. So it is this cipher feedback and next one is output feedback. These two modes will be converting the block ciphers into stream cipher. Okay, so here why what is the need of converting this into stream cipher? So the main reason is we can eliminate the need to pad a message. Okay, so that means when you are taking a message, it is what in the block cipher modes, in the block ciphers we have to convert the message into 64-bit blocks, right? 64 bits or 128 bits. If it is not having exactly 64 bits, then what we need to do? We need to add additional bits like 0. Okay, so that we are going to call it as what? Padding. So here if we are going for stream cipher, how many number of characters are there? So those characters itself we are going to send. So we need not to add additional bits. So the padding we can avoid. So for that reason we are going for this feedback modes. Okay, like cipher feedback mode and output feedback mode. So two modes of operations we can use in conversion of block cipher to stream cipher. Okay, so generally in competitive examinations or what, there you may be asked. Okay, so like what type of feedback modes, what block cipher modes of operations will convert the block ciphers into stream cipher. So that is the two are there, those are cipher and output feedback modes. Okay, now how this cipher feedback mode will operate? Okay, so for this we'll go through the diagram. So what I told you, so common is what, 8 bits we are going to use. Okay, 8 bits means one character. Okay, so character by character it will be transmitting. So transformation is done on 8 bits. Okay, so how it is done? Okay, now you can see the diagram here what we are doing. So just like the previous one, we are going to take one initial vector. Okay, so the initial vector we are going to divide, we are going to represent in b bits. Okay, I am not saying it as what exactly 64 bits. Okay, so why we are representing this as b bits? So we are taking what, only s bits out of it. Okay, not the complete b bits. Okay, present this initial vector into a shift register. Okay, shift register means what? Each time it will be shifted. How many number of bits it will be shifted? B bits will be shifted. Okay, so B bits shift register we are going to consider. So like for example, I am saying B is equals to 10. Okay, so first time it is as it is. Next level what it happens, 10 bits will be shifted. Okay, so what direction it is shifting? Left, right. Okay, so left shift we are going to use. You can see here arrow mark. So this arrow mark is representing what? Shifting in which side? Okay, left bit. So that is what left side, circular shift it will happen. Okay, so it will come to, those B bits will be coming into the last, that is rotated, and will be coming at the end. Clear? So that is initial vector we are going to store in the shift register. Okay, so once we are shifting, so the B bits we are going to consider. So those B bits we are going to encrypt. Clear? We are going to encrypt. So this encryption will be normal, any encryption, any block cipher encryption. So then whatever the resultant is there, okay, so that resultant again we are going to divide into two parts. Okay, so that is select S bits. Okay, generally what is the character size? 8 bits. So that 8 bits will be selected and remaining will be discarded. So that means what? B bits we have taken. So B minus S bits will be discarded. Clear? So S bits only we are considering and remaining will be discarded. So these S bits with the plain text S bits we are going to XOR. So that we are taking as the cipher text. Clear? So this cipher text again taken as the input here. Okay, so this input, and that will be placed in what? Shift register. So after shifting what? B bits. So that B bits we are going to select, then encrypt, then again select S bits, discard B minus S bits, plain text 2, that is next plain text part, that is next character of the plain text. S bits we are taking, these S bits we are XORing and generating the next level cipher text. Again these cipher text will be taken here. So like this the chaining will happen. So this is how the cipher feedback mode is going to work. So initial vector, so in the first initial vector will be stored in the shift register, that will be encrypted, and then we are selecting only S bits because the here transmission is of what? Character by character. Character is 8 bits. So 8 bits we take here, 8 bits from the plain text, XOR, and the resultant is cipher text, 8 bits. So this 8 bits again we are going to give as what? Next level. Okay, So next level, again shift register. In that one we are going to store this S bits. Okay, we are shifting the S bits, right? And we are going to store this newly coming S bits and encrypt. Then S bits we are taking, discard remaining and XOR. So like this it will be proceeding. So here coming to the decryption. This is the encryption process. In the decryption, instead of left shift, we have to take the right. See here. The same operation we are doing. Initial vector, sorry, not right shift. In here the same shift register, encrypt, then coming to select S bits, and here this S bits we are going to take with the ciphertext. Okay, whatever the ciphertext is there, ciphertext S bits we are XORing, and then we get the plain text S bits. Okay, so here the ciphertext only we are going to give as what? Next level. So in the encryption and decryption, in both the cases, the ciphertext only will be given as what? The feedback to the next level. Okay, so that is why it is said to be what? Cipher feedback. So what is the difference in the previous one? The plain text is XORed with this S bits, generating the ciphertext. Here what we are doing? The S bits are XORed with the ciphertext S bits to generate the plain text. Yes or not? So that is a common thing. Clear? So S bits XORed with the ciphertext to generate the plain text, and this ciphertext itself is given as what? The input to the next level. So like this we are going to proceed, and the plain text stream will be generated. Why I am saying stream? So this is what P1 is of 8 bits, that means one character, P2 another character, P3 another character, and like this we are going to proceed. So this is about how this cipher feedback mode works. Okay, similar to this, okay, whatever I have told you, so that is given as the description here, right? And then the next one is output feedback mode. Okay, so cipher feedback mode, in which the cipher block or whatever the cipher character is generated, that is given as the input to the next level. Okay, and here coming to the output feedback mode, so the difference is we are going to consider this output, the S bits whatever we have taken as the output, not the ciphertext. Okay, this output will be given as the input to the next level. Clear? So instead of the ciphertext is given as the input to the next level, what we are doing, before XORing whatever the output is there, S bit output we are considering, so that S bits will be given as the input to the next level. So what is the advantage and what is the disadvantage of this one? Okay, so here you can see the advantage of output feedback is that the bit errors in transmission do not propagate. That is, if any bit is error in C1, like cipher character C1, if any bit is modified, so some error is there, so that will affect only the plain text one, but it will not affect the next levels. Why? Because we are not, see, in the previous one, in the cipher feedback mode, what we are doing, we are giving this cipher text as the input to the next level. Okay, that means if there is any error in the cipher text, clear, so that will affect the remaining all. Yes or not? Remaining all it will affect. But if you go for output feedback mode, here what we are doing, we are giving this one output of this S bits. So only this one we are giving as the input to the next level. So that means if there is any error in this one, in this character, okay, so that will affect only this one, but it will not affect the remaining one. So that is the advantage of this output feedback mode. But the disadvantage is it is more vulnerable to message stream modification attack. Okay, so that means what, modifications, that errors cannot be easily identified. Okay, it is possible to modify the checksum portion and also the data portion. So like you might have gone for any errors in the computer networks, you might have gone for error detection and correction, so where we are using the checksum to identify any bit modification in the data, right? So here the output feedback is vulnerable to the attack, message stream modification attack, in which the data is also modified and checksum is also modified such that it will not be detected by any error detection or correction algorithms. Okay, so that is main disadvantage of this output feedback mode. Clear? Then coming to the last mode of operation, that is counter mode. So in the counter mode, we are going to take it as the counter. Okay, not like initial vector, we take a counter. Counter means what? Each time it will be added by 1. Okay, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1 and so on. So initially we take one counter. Okay, so that will be encrypted with the key. Then plain text will be encrypted with the cipher, plain text will be XORed with the output, and that will be generating the ciphertext. So next level what happens, the counter will be incremented, okay, by 1. So that will be encrypted and plain text is XORed, ciphertext is generated. So like this we are going to proceed. Similarly, coming to decryption. Decryption also the same procedure. Okay, so the ciphertext is encrypted with this output, then generating the plain text. So this is what the simple counter mode. So this counter mode, the advantages are hardware efficiency. Okay, that is what chaining modes are sequential, but counter is parallel. So you can go for parallel encryptions. So that is the main advantage, because nowhere we are taking what counter here means next level counter 1, next level counter 2. So that means all parallelly we can work, right? So that efficiency is given. So software efficiency, because of parallelism, the process that support parallel features can be effectively utilized. Okay, parallel processing you can do, right? So encryption algorithm does not depend on the input of plain text or ciphertext. So like this, these are the advantage of the counter mode. So there are 5 block cipher modes of operations. I'll go through here. Right. See here. So there are 5 block modes of operations. Electronic code book, right? Cipher block chaining mode, where cipher block is given as input to the next one. Cipher feedback mode and output feedback mode. These two will be converting the block cipher modes to string cipher, right? Then counter mode. So these are the 5 modes of operations, right? So in the next class we'll go for the remaining algorithms. Thank you.